Hello all, welcome to my channel. The topic we are going to discuss today is about Chabahar port. Let us see what is the current issue that is in the news. Iran seeks long-term contract with India for the development of Chabahar port. Iran said that it is ready to sign a long-term contract with India on the developing of the Chabahar port in order to realize its true potential in the coming years. Iranian Minister of Road and Urban Development Rostam Qasem described India as an important and big country that can play an essential role in the transit of goods in the region. Recently, Iranian government demanded that India should sign a long-term contract with them for the development of Chabahar port so that the port can attain its true potential, and the Iranian minister described India as an important and big country for their region. Now, let us see more about Chabahar port. Chabahar port is a seaport in Chabahar, located in southeastern Iran on the Gulf of Oman. Chabahar port is a seaport. It is located in Chabahar region of Iran. Chabahar region is in the southeastern part of Iran and it is located in the Gulf of Oman. Let us see the map first. This is the Chabahar port and this is Iran and this is India. This is the route connecting Mumbai to Chabahar port and this is the Gulf of Oman. It serves as Iran's only oceanic port and consists of two separate ports named Shahid Kalandari and Shahid Beheshti. The Chabahar port consists of two separate ports. They are Shahid Kalandari and Shahid Beheshti. It is only about 72 kilometers west of Pakistan's Gwadar port. Gwadar port is actually part of China-Pakistan economic corridor. So to counter China in the region, India requires Chabahar port. The first phase of the port was opened in 1983 during the Iran-Iraq War. This port was first opened during the year 1983 during the Iran-Iraq War. It is operated by India Ports Global Limited, and India also played a very significant role in the development of this port. So India has a certain amount of access to this port, which is very important for both the countries. Now let us see about the significance of Chabahar port. It helps India to get direct route to Afghanistan. It will ensure the establishment of a politically sustainable connectivity between India and Afghanistan. Let us see this on the map. As you can see in the map, this region in India is actually Pak-occupied Kashmir. So we cannot directly connect with Afghanistan. So we have to depend on Chabahar port and go by this route and then connect to Afghanistan by this method. This route, the red colored line I have drawn now. So it will ensure connectivity of India with Afghanistan so that we can improve our relationship with our neighboring country Afghanistan. And another significance of the Chabahar port is that it is India's key to Central Asian countries. As we have already seen in the map, we cannot have a direct access to Afghanistan. It is only through Afghanistan and countries like Iran we have an access to Central Asian countries. So this access is very important to improve economic relations for trade and other services. And countering China is also an important significance of Chabahar port. In this map, this is a place where Gwadar port is located, and there is a connectivity between the Xinjiang province in China and the Gwadar port. It is called China-Pakistan economic corridor. So China is increasing its presence in the Arabian Sea through the Gwadar port. And as you can see, Chabahar port is approximately 72 kilometers away from Gwadar port. So by having access to Chabahar port, India will be able to keep a check on Chinese activity and prevent China from rising in the region. And with the access to Chabahar port, India will be able to help Afghanistan on reducing their dependence on Pakistan. Because in a geopolitical scenario, Pakistan and India are not in good terms. So Afghanistan depending on Pakistan is not good for India in the long run. When Chabahar port gets activated, it will improve trade and commerce. With Chabahar port becoming functional, there will be a significant boost to the import of iron ore, sugar and rice to India. It will improve so that we will be able to get these products at a lower cost and lower price. And it will also improve our exports also. So the trade between India and Iran will improve. The import cost of oil to India will also see a considerable decline, and there will be a decline in the cost of oil imports. As of now, we are importing oil at a very high price, and oil price is also a really big issue in our nation as of now. So it will also act as a solution to reduce the oil price in the country. As we all know, the Central Asian region is a vast reservoir of oil, natural gas and oil. So by making this port operational, we will be able to import natural gas from the Central Asian regions. That can also solve the energy crisis that we are facing in the country. Other significance of Chabahar port is that the country can use it as a point for the humanitarian operations in Central Asia and South Asia. So Chabahar port can be used by India for conducting various humanitarian rescue operations in the South Asia and Central Asian regions. Chabahar port is also a link to international North-South transport corridor. It is a very important corridor for connecting Central Asian countries, Russia, India and Europe together. So it is a very important corridor. So Chabahar port is a very important region, an important part of this corridor. So Chabahar port will boost India's access to Iran, the key gateway to international North-South transport corridor that has sea, rail and road routes between India, Russia, Iran, Europe and Central Asia. So Chabahar port will improve India's access to the international North-South transport corridor, thereby improving trade between India, Russia, the Central Asian countries, Iran, etc. It is also a very important transport line between these nations and can reduce the transport amount of goods and various other products to a very significant extent. This is the map of INSTC. This red part given in the map is the INSTC. It starts from Mumbai and ends at St. Petersburg. And the blue line which is showing in the map is the current route that we are using. This, as we can see, this blue route is really long. So it takes so much amount of money and time to reach there. So when the INSTC gets operational, it will reduce the transport time, the amount of fuel used, and the connectivity will be improved, and the commerce and the exchange of goods and services will also be improved between the Central Asian countries, India, Russia, Iran, etc. It will also give a good boost to the trade between the nations. As we all know, Russia is one of our major defense exporters. That is, Russia, we buy majority of our defense products from Russia. So Russia is of significant importance to our country. So, and from Iran we will be able to buy oil at very low prices. That is also a very important factor. Now let us see the issues that India faces while dealing with the Chabahar port or Iran. Recently, China has been improving its relationship with Iran. As we all know, China is not on very good terms with India, and it is our number one rival in the region. So China increasing its presence in the Iran is a matter of concern for India. And another important aspect is the Iran and US conflict. As we all know, the Iran nuclear deal is currently underway. During the Trump administration, the relation between Iran and US was not on very good terms. But now Joe Biden is patching up things with Iran as of now. Let us see how it's improved in the future. And this conflict between Iran and US is also a matter of concern for India, as India requires the support of US for various international achievements like membership of NSG, Nuclear Suppliers Group, and for a permanent membership in the United Nations Security Council. For all of this, India requires the support of US. So India cannot go against US or up to more than a certain extent. So keeping that in mind, the conflict between Iran and US is a really important problem for India while dealing with Chabahar port. Another important factor of developing the Chabahar port or dealing with Iran is that Iran is not on very good terms with the Gulf countries, which are a very important partners of India. Iran has certain conflict with Saudi Arabia, UAE, Israel, etc. As we know, India and Israel has a very good relation. Israel exports many advanced military technologies to India. We buy a good amount of weapons to our army, navy and air force from Israel. So Israel is a very important country for us by that aspect. And UAE and Saudi Arabia are also very important trade partners. And many people in India are going to such Gulf countries for an employment. So all these countries are important for India. And the relation between Iran and these countries is not on very good terms. So India has to balance between these two countries. That is also a problem while dealing with the Chabahar port. Now let us see what are the way forward in front of India while dealing with Chabahar port. India should focus on enhancing India-Iran relationship. As of recently, since US was going against Iran, India had to keep its silence with regarding to that matter and did not support Iran when it comes to sanctions by US. So that is also a matter of concern between India and Iran as of now. So India should try to improve its relations between Iran, and India should also focus on keeping an eye on the China threat in that region. Another way forward is that India should also balance between Iran and US, because India should play a mediator role in improving the relation between US and Iran, so that we can connect with both the countries in a good way. And India should also focus on solving the issues between UAE, Israel and Saudi Arabia and with Iran, so that India will be able to do good business with both the countries. That is the way forward in front of India. With this, we are ending our lecture. If you like this video, please do subscribe to the channel and like the videos, and please do write down your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.